Every year, college volleyball brings in a new wave of freshman talent, but this incoming class, they're different. Whether it's international stars like Moni Nikolov or Stilian Delibosov, or American phenoms like Parker Tomkinson and Sterling Foley, whether it's steadying serve-receive, dominating the front court, or setting up their team for success, these rookies are showing why they are the real future of Division I men's volleyball. Let's dive into this list. At number 11 and 10 on the list are going to be the two and only liberos that I will mention in this list. Two freshman liberos. First, Jonny Dykstra from USC. He's had a really good season. He's their primary serve-receive libero. Only 8 reception errors on the season. If you can be under 10 at this point in the year, you're a stud and a standout. So he's been strong for the Trojans, leading them defensively in serve-receive, keeping them poised, keeping them in system, and leading Caleb Blanchett to be one of the best in the business at the setter position, dishing out, I believe, over 11 assists per set. So he's been a standout. Number 10, Kellen Larson, has been a focal point for Long Beach State, poising their attack and making their crispy, smooth offense even smoother with elite serve-receive. He's technically a redshirt freshman, took his redshirt last year when he was a true freshman behind Mason Briggs, but I consider this his real, true first season out there, and he's showing it. He's showing what he can do from Irvine, California, and really a kid that can make a difference for that unit, and I think he's a 4-year player for the Beach. He's shown his ability to be a true serve-receive libero. I think of the two, serve-receive and defensive, you need that serve-receive guy that's going to be trustworthy, a guy that can handle the tough 60, 70, 80 mile per hour serves that we're seeing in today's game. And Kellen and Jonny are two guys that, as freshmen, really impressed to see them stand out in those roles so far. At number 9, we have a freshman from none other than the St. James Club volleyball program here in Arlington, Virginia, a club that I'm very familiar with as it's very local to me. Niko Hales from BYU, middle, who's shown an ability to be an impactful player both offensively and defensively. Niko has 54 kills on the season so far, hitting about 450 on the year with 49 blocks. So I think he's clearly that defensive guy on a team that has a lot of offensive weapons. He might not be the first, second, or even third option on that team. They got Kearney, Tion, Benson, a lot of guys that are getting heavy distribution, but when he gets the ball, he's shown an ability to score. I think his best match so far this season was the UH match when he went 606, hitting 1,000 with 8 blocks in that 5-set match. So he's a guy that has come in and made a difference for this BYU Cougars team. You know, I'm proud to see a St. James player go out there and make a difference in year 1. I think he's going to have a really good career with the Cougars going forward. At number 8, we have Micah Goss from UC Irvine. He's been really popular in the Instagram volleyball scene this season. A lot of clips, a lot of highlights. His name has been out there, and he's been showing out early on in some big competition. The unfortunate thing about the UC Irvine Anteaters is they don't have their stats updated on their website. So I was looking up to see the specific stats on cumulative kills, hitting percentage, blocks for the season. They have nothing. So be better UCI, but from what I did see on the NCAA website, he's averaging about 1.1 blocks per set. He's got anywhere between 30 and 45, which is pretty outstanding, and I'm assuming he's hitting about 400 on a year as well. We'll fact check those numbers at the end of the season, but for now, Micah Goss comes in at number 8. A deadly tandem with Max as the M1 on that team, so really good for UCI to find that guy as a freshman. Next on the list, we have Parker Tomkinson, adding to the middle trend here, middle from USC, 76 kills on the year, 45 blocks, hitting .521, one of the highest hitting percentages in the country. He's been awesome. He's been a blocking unit for USC, which is a team that has led the NCAA in blocking for most of this season, if not the entire season. I wasn't sure how much Parker was going to play this year. You know, they have Guy Genis, transfer from UCLA. Wesley Smith was a big player on their team last year. Not sure what the status of him is going forward, but for Parker to come in and be a starter as a freshman at 7 foot, you know, he's a guy that is going to be tough going forward. If he's having this sort of an impact as a freshman, look to see him making big plays for the Trojans as they battle for an MPSF championship this season against some really good teams. But thus far, he's been really great, and another middle to this really stacked freshman class of middles. Next player on the list is a guy that I'm pretty familiar with, Alex Lillie, middle from George Mason, a team that I have been filming a lot for this year. 82 kills on the year, hitting .444 with 12 aces and 49 blocks. He's been awesome for the Patriots. He's been a steady guy with some injuries and some changing of the lineup. He's been a guy that's been steady there the whole season for the Patriots. 3-time Defensive Player of the Week in the EIVA, back to back. You don't see that a whole lot, but he's been a really impactful player, blocking a ton, a lot of solo blocks, you know, on an island out there and just isolating the middles. So he's been pretty special, and I honestly think he's been one of the best middles in the country this year. Not even just freshman. I think he's been a standout, one of the best in the EIVA, and he's got the stats to back up, you know, one of the best in the country. When you add in serving, blocking, hitting percentage, and impact, I think he's been really good. Next on the list at number 5, we have Cole Hartke, an outside hitter from Pepperdine. 120 kills on the year, hitting .411. with 17 blocks and 15 aces. He's been a steady guy for the Waves this season. He's on a Pepperdine team that has really battled. They played teams tough, sitting, I think right now, about 9th or 10th in the AVCA poll. So they're on the fringe, and they're battling in a really tough MPSF conference. He's going to be a guy that they're going to lean on going forward to continue to hit efficiently and really battle in big games. But so far, he's been a standout pin. It's really tough to be an outside or right side as a freshman and make an impact with the number of guys and number of spots to fill in high-level Division I volleyball. So big shout-out to Hartke for stepping up and stepping into that role and making a big impact for Pepperdine. Speaking of pins, next up on the list at number 4, we have Sterling Foley, outside hitter for USC. Foley has 97 kills, hitting .323 on the year with 30-plus blocks on the season. He's been really good as well. I mean, obviously you have Dylan Klein as USC's go-to guy, and he's going to get a lot of the attempts. But Sterling Foley has been a plug-and-play guy right away as a freshman. I had him on my list of top 5 freshmen coming in based on what we saw him do at the U.S. Junior National Team, and I think he's putting all that tape into display here against the highest level competition in D1, having some big games. He had a 16-kill match against Irvine, hitting .333 earlier in the season. He's capable of big games. Offensively, defensively, I think his strong suit is steady and serve receive, which has been a piece that USC has been trying to fill since bringing in Klein a couple years ago. So really good pickup for the Trojans, and he's going to be a 4-year starter for them, just with everything he brings to the table as kind of a 5-tool athlete. Next on the list, we have Kristian Titryski, opposite hitter from Hawaii. 196 kills on the season, hitting .323 with 32 blocks and 22 aces on the season. Like I said, it's tough to be a starting outside opposite at this level on a top 5, top 10 team. And he's doing it on one of the best teams in the country right now, UH. A lot of young turnover on that team. Roar is also a guy that I thought about a lot adding to this list. He's had a really good season, pretty comparable to Titryski. But I think at that opposite position, if you're a 6 rotation opposite hitter, you know, getting all those garbage D balls, hitting over 300, He's a guy that I think is making a massive impact for this Rainbow Warriors team. And so he's on my list at number 2. I think he's been phenomenal. A guy that Tread has been able to lean on. Has had some underwhelming games where it hasn't always been super steady. You know, he'll hit 0, he'll hit negative every once in a while. But you look at a game like one of the most recent UCI games where he had 19 kills hitting .571. And you look at that and say, that's That's a phenomenal freshman, All-American type player, and I think he's shown that this year. At number 2, we have another middle from CSUN, this time Stilian Delibosov, 95 kills in the season, hitting one of the highest in the country, I think top 2 at 522 on the year. Adding with that 61 blocks, so he's been a force offensively, defensively. I think easily one of the top middles in the country this year. He's been a force, really poising this CSUN team that has some studs, Jalen Phillips, Donovan Constable. I saw them live. They are a powerful, explosive team, and Stilian's a guy that just poises them and does a lot of good things for their team. I think he's been one of the best middles in the country, and you know, these Bulgarians, man, they come in and they've been playing lights out volleyball. So look to see him make an impact going forward, and really exciting player to watch on both sides. Like I said, offense, defense, blocking. He even has a pretty good serve as well, so he can do a lot of things, and he's a guy to watch. So tune in. And last but not least, you guys know the answer to this one, Moni Nikolov, another Bulgarian who's been the guy this season. He's been the player of the year. Long Beach is undefeated, and that's largely due to his impact as a setter, as an overall volleyball player. He's been a stud. 53 aces, you heard that right. 35 blocks. He's hitting personally 400 on the year, and the Beach is hitting 416 on the season with a very tough schedule to this point. Playing UCLA twice, playing CSUN, playing a bunch of teams, so it's not like they're just walking through the park here schedule-wise. They played tough competition, and he's just made his impact on this team. You know, you can roll through all the stats you want. Assist per set, serve, aces, blocks. He does it all, and he keeps this team rolling and operating on a different level than I've ever seen before in a college program. So he is the best player in volleyball, not even just the best freshman. I hope we get to see more of him going forward, even though I think this is going to be a one and done situation. Like a lot of people are speculating, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, Nikolov has been the best player this year, best freshman on a talented group of freshman players that have entered and made an impact this year. I still think there's a ton of other freshmen that are going to make a big impact going forward, just not in this situation to be plug and plays. You know, the Sean Kellys, the Finn Kearneys, Isaiah Preuitts, these guys are, you know, sitting behind All-Americans, sitting behind upperclassmen that are a little bit ahead of them right now, but they'll get there. But for now, these are the top 11 guys that I've identified to be the future of D1 volleyball. So let me know what you think of this list. Let me know who I missed. I'm trying to get every conference, all the guys that are playing a lot and making an impact. So if there are any snubs out there, hit the comments. Let me know who I got wrong. Let me know what you would change. And yeah, keep tuning in to all this D1 content I'll be dishing out for the rest of the season. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.